It's just really just I want to look at it like it's just a continuum of who I am. Really, I've always stayed to myself. I've always been in my own bubble, whether it's with the fam or whether it's training. How I process it all is just I continue to do what I was doing 10 years ago, and that's like it better in myself, better in the craft, and not look at it as bright lights, you know?
Kendrick Lamar is teasing what sounds like a brand new Drake diss, and this whole situation just got way more serious. This is not some regular rap battle anymore, and it definitely does not feel like another quick back and forth for streams and headlines. Drake stepped into dangerous territory this time, and fans everywhere instantly noticed it. We are talking about the kind of line that changes the energy completely, the kind that makes somebody who already beat you in the public eye, already dominated the Grammys, already had the whole crowd screaming at the Super Bowl, stop and say, nah, this isn't finished yet. When Drake dropped Iceman on May 15th, 2026, people expected shots at Kendrick. Everybody knew that was coming. But what caught listeners off guard was how personal some of those lyrics sounded. Hidden between all the slick wordplay, layered sneak disses, and emotional venting, Drake aimed at something bigger than Kendrick's music. He went after Kendrick's reputation, his community image, and the values tied to his name. And the internet exploded immediately. Now social media is in complete chaos. Hip-hop pages are debating nonstop. YouTube reaction channels are posting breakdown after breakdown. Every podcast is talking about the same thing. Did Drake finally cross a line Kendrick cannot ignore? Because this does not feel like normal industry drama anymore. This feels deeper. This feels personal. This feels like two completely different visions of hip-hop culture crashing into each other in real time, man. And that's the part a lot of people are missing. This is not just two rappers competing for chart positions or trying to win a viral moment. These are two of the biggest artists alive with completely different identities, completely different ways of moving, and completely different ideas about what rap culture should represent. To really understand why people think Drake made a huge mistake with Iceman, you have to understand what Kendrick Lamar means to a lot of fans. Kendrick is really from Compton, California. Not for marketing, not for branding, not because it sounds cool in interviews. That's his real-life story. He grew up surrounded by violence, pressure, fear, and survival. He watched people around him get swallowed by the streets, and instead of running away from that reality, he turned it into art. That's why albums like To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers connected with people on such a deep level. Fans did not just hear music when they listened to Kendrick. They heard honesty, they heard pain, they heard somebody trying to explain emotions and struggles a lot of people never knew how to put into words. Kendrick built a reputation around authenticity. Even after becoming one of the biggest artists in the world, he still carried himself like somebody deeply tied to where he came from. That image matters to people, a lot. Then you got Drake on the other side of this whole thing. And let's keep it real. Drake is still one of the biggest artists hip-hop has ever seen. Nobody can erase that. The success is legendary. The hit records are legendary. The influence is undeniable. Drake turned himself from a former actor on Degrassi into a global music superstar through smart moves, consistency, versatility, and non-stop work ethic. But the one thing people always questioned was authenticity. That conversation followed Drake for years, and Kendrick put that issue right in the center of the spotlight when Not Like Us dropped back in May 2024. That song did not feel like a regular diss track. It felt like Kendrick was making a statement about who he believed Drake really was, and the culture reacted instantly. The record exploded everywhere. Clubs, sports arenas, social media, TikTok, memes, reactions, everybody was talking about it. Then Kendrick performed it at the Super Bowl, which made the whole moment feel even bigger. After that, the song cleaned up at the Grammys too. Meanwhile, Drake kept trying different responses, freestyles, features, singles, collabs, but nothing really changed the narrative surrounding the feud. Fans kept comparing every move back to Not Like Us, and that shadow stayed over everything Drake did afterward.
Drake releasing his highly anticipated new Iceman album, taking over Toronto with an icy-looking CN Tower and a live stream, but then more. Drake dropped 2 other albums, Habibti and Maid of Honor.
So by the time Iceman finally arrived in 2026, the pressure was already sky high. And Drake knew that. That's why he did not just quietly release the album and disappear. Nah, he turned the rollout into a full spectacle. The CN Tower in Toronto lit up. A 4-part live stream series hit YouTube. Promo clips started flooding social media. Everything felt huge, dramatic, and calculated. Drake wanted the entire culture watching. And honestly, people were watching. Then episode 4 of the live stream happened, and that's when things got serious. Drake previewed lyrics aimed directly at Kendrick, and within minutes, those lines were everywhere online. One lyric especially sent social media into complete meltdown mode. Drake rapped, "White kids listen to you because they feel some guilt, and that's how your soul get fulfilled. Handing out turkeys on camera inside of your hood, then you go back to the hills." That line changed the whole conversation, because Drake was no longer just criticizing Kendrick's music or questioning his bars. He was attacking Kendrick's image, his activism, and the sincerity behind the community work people respect him for. Fans immediately split into two sides. Some people thought it was a smart strategic move. Others thought Drake crossed a line he should have never touched. And once the album fully dropped, the tension only got worse. Drake released 3 projects at once: Iceman, Maid of Honor, and Habibi. Out of all 3, Iceman instantly became the center of attention, because it sounded like Drake unloading every grudge he had been carrying since 2024. The project was packed with shots at Kendrick. On Dust, Drake questioned Kendrick's catalog and impact. On Make Them Pay, he referenced streaming controversies and old industry rumors. On 1 a.m. in Albany, he joked about Kendrick's height with a Muggsy Bogues line that immediately went viral online. But none of those bars caused the same reaction as the turkey and white guilt lines. Those were the bars people could not stop talking about. And what makes this whole thing so wild is that Drake had already tried taking shots before. After Kendrick swept the Grammys in 2025, Drake dropped some sexy songs for you with Party Next Door. Fans caught little Kendrick references, but the culture mostly shrugged it off. Then came the leaked Fighting Irish freestyle. More shots, more aggression, mixed reactions again. Then What Did I Miss dropped later that year. Same thing. Fans debated it for a few days, then the conversation moved on. But Iceman feels different because this is not one song anymore. This is a full 16-track statement. The project feels coordinated, strategic, calculated. Drake is not just throwing random insults now. He is building a full narrative around Kendrick Lamar. Across the album, he keeps repeating the same ideas over and over. Kendrick's image is performative. His activism is fake. His audience connects through guilt politics. His success deserves questions. That is why people online are treating this second round like dangerous territory. Because once rap beef moves beyond bars and starts attacking somebody's integrity, everything changes. In hip-hop, there have always been unwritten rules. You can attack somebody's music, their label deals, their business moves, their confidence, their hit-making ability. That's competition. But once somebody questions your relationship with your community or accuses your charitable work of being fake, the energy gets way heavier. And Kendrick's connection to Compton means a lot to his supporters. Then people see him as somebody who never forgot where he came from. So when Drake turned Kendrick's community work into a punchline, fans reacted hard online. To many listeners, that crossed into a completely different level of disrespect. And according to online rumors, that may have seriously bothered Kendrick behind the scenes too. Because Kendrick built entire albums around self-reflection and accountability. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was basically an open discussion about fame, pressure, therapy, mistakes, and personal growth. This is somebody who openly talked about therapy in his music. Somebody who put his flaws into songs for the entire world to hear. So when Kendrick moves, fans usually believe he moves with purpose. That's why people took his Super Bowl performance so seriously. Performing a diss track on one of the biggest stages in the world was not viewed as random. Fans saw it as confidence, certainty, intentionality. And now the streets are convinced he's preparing another response. YouTube is flooded with reaction videos right now. Every hip-hop page is breaking down lyrics frame by frame. Over on X, the debates are non-stop. Everybody is trying to predict Kendrick's next move. Then rumors started spreading that Kendrick had already been in the studio before Iceman even officially released. Nothing confirmed. No official statement, no verified snippets. But producers, engineers, and people connected to West Coast circles reportedly started hinting that Kendrick already heard the album early and immediately started writing. And when those kinds of insiders start talking, fans listen. Because Kendrick does not usually respond to every little insult thrown online. People believe he reacts when he feels deeply disrespected. That's why these lyrics hit differently. Now here's the part a lot of people think is the real strategy behind Drake's bars. Most fans focused on the Muggsy Bogues joke because it spread fast on TikTok. But honestly, Kendrick has dealt with height jokes for years. That part probably does not affect him much. The more controversial line is the one questioning Kendrick's audience. That lyric was designed to create doubt. It was designed to make fans question why they connect to Kendrick's music in the first place. It shifts the conversation away from bars and toward identity, politics, and perception. And some listeners think that was intentional because throughout this entire feud, Drake kept facing questions about his own authenticity, ghostwriting rumors, industry image, cultural identity. Those conversations never fully disappeared, so now people believe Drake flipped the spotlight back onto Kendrick by forcing everybody to debate authenticity from the opposite angle.
Well, what I know is the passion I have now is still the passion I had then. And I think that carried on to the Super Bowl. So it was all about being present. As long as I was present in the studio and present in whatever that line was or whatever that mistake was, rapping or doing hooks or choruses or whatnot, I was present in that moment. I felt that passion. I think being present and not actually foreseeing everything kept me in a grounded state of mind in order to be at, big stages like this.
That's why this whole feud still feels so intense. Drake also keeps revisiting the old UMG situation on Iceman. When he raps, 100 million streams vanished. No one got questions. Fans instantly connected it back to the dismissed legal drama from 2025. And that line reveals something important about Drake's strategy. He does not just want to out-rap Kendrick anymore. He wants people to question the legitimacy of Kendrick's victory altogether. That changes the battle completely. Instead of saying, "I'm better than you," Drake's message starts sounding more like, "Your win should come with an asterisk." And that is a much deeper kind of attack because it targets public perception itself. Another interesting move came with the track "Ran to Atlanta." Drake bringing Future onto that record was symbolic because Future was part of Like That, the song where Kendrick fired the opening shot that launched this whole war in 2024. Fans immediately saw it as Drake trying to reclaim alliances and rewrite the narrative around Atlanta. That's why people keep calling it a chess move instead of a simple diss. And to be fair, a lot of people admit Iceman sounds stronger creatively than some of Drake's recent releases. The production feels focused, the bars feel sharper. Even critics who usually lean against Drake admitted the project sounds more motivated than tracks like The Heart Part 6. But motivation does not automatically equal victory. That's the argument many fans keep making online. A lot of people believe Drake's disses still feel reactive instead of dominant. In their eyes, Kendrick controlled the narrative first with Not Like Us, and Drake is still trying to fight his way out of that shadow. And the contrast between their approaches keeps coming up everywhere online. Kendrick dropped Not Like Us with almost no rollout, no giant live streams, no huge promo campaign. The song just landed and took over the internet within hours. Meanwhile, Drake turned Iceman into a giant event with streams, visuals, and heavy marketing. That comparison keeps fueling debate about where the culture actually stands right now. Then there's the LeBron James situation. Drake threw shots connected to LeBron on the album, especially after LeBron attended Kendrick's Pop-Out concert back in 2024. Fans interpreted some lyrics as Drake viewing that move as betrayal, but LeBron has stayed completely silent, and people noticed that silence immediately. J. Cole stayed quiet too. Travis Scott, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled. A lot of names connected to Drake have not publicly rushed to defend him. That silence became part of the story itself. The DJ Khaled situation especially grabbed attention because Drake directly called him out for going quiet during the feud. Yet Khaled still never responded publicly. Fans instantly started asking whether the Drake brand feels too messy or too divisive for certain industry people right now. And underneath all this drama is a much bigger debate about hip-hop culture itself. Kendrick represents lyricism, storytelling, introspection, and authenticity to a lot of listeners. His supporters believe he challenged an era where image, luxury, branding, and viral moments started overshadowing deeper artistry. Drake represents something different. He helped prove hip-hop could dominate globally through melody, crossover appeal, versatility, and emotional accessibility. He skipped traditional industry pathways and still became one of the biggest artists the genre has ever seen. That contrast is why this feud feels bigger than music. To many fans, this battle became a fight between two completely different visions of hip-hop's future. And by attacking Kendrick's activism and community image, Drake may have accidentally handed Kendrick the moral advantage publicly. Because when somebody already respected for lyricism gains public sympathy too, the balance shifts fast in rap battles. That combination helped turn Not Like Us into more than just a diss song. It became a cultural anthem. And if Kendrick responds by doubling down on his roots, his storytelling, and his connection to Compton, many fans believe Drake could struggle to counter that message convincingly. That's why everybody keeps asking the same question now. Is Kendrick already in the studio preparing something devastating? Or does he stay silent and let the culture continue speaking for him? Either way, one thing is clear. This feud is nowhere near over. Those turkey bars and white guilt lines did not land like normal rap punches to many listeners. Fans viewed those lyrics as direct attacks on Kendrick Lamar's character, and Kendrick is not the type to let somebody else define his image without responding somehow. Right now, the entire culture is watching closely. Artists, producers, labels, fans, everybody. Because the next move in this battle could shape conversations around hip-hop for years to come. Whoever responds next is going to send a message about what rap culture truly values in 2026. Authenticity, lyricism, influence, image, strategy, or all of it combined. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let everybody know whose side you're on. Do you think Kendrick is already preparing a response? Or do you think Drake finally shifted the momentum with Iceman? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anybody following the Drake and Kendrick drama closely. And stay locked in, because if Kendrick responds the way people expect, we're going to break down every lyric, every hidden message, and every major reaction as soon as it happens.